These streets ain't loyal, and right now, they hate Pierre Poilievre. Will this be remembered as the moment Pierre Poilievre's near flawless run for Prime Minister faded away? Here's what happened. So last Wednesday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau testified at the public inquiry into foreign interference, and he said this.
I have the names of a number of parliamentarians, former parliamentarians and or candidates in the Conservative Party of Canada who are engaged or at high risk of, or for whom there is clear intelligence around foreign interference. And I have directed CSIS and others to try and inform the Conservative Party leader to be warned and armed to be able to make decisions that protect the integrity of that party, of its members, from attempts at activities around foreign interference. And the decision by the leader of the Conservative Party to not get those classified briefings means that nobody in his party, not him, nobody in a position of power knows the names of these individuals and can take appropriate action. It also means nobody's there to stand up for those individuals if the intelligence is shoddy or incomplete or just allegations from a single source. And that is something that as you've seen, we are ready to question intelligence when it comes towards the Liberal Party members, because we need to make sure if you're going to end someone's career, you're doing it in a responsible way. The decision of the leader of the Conservative Party to not receive the necessary clearance to get those names and protect the integrity of his party is bewildering to me and entirely lacks common sense.
So foreign interference is obviously a big concern in Canada right now. I made a whole video explaining why, and you can check that out after this. But let's break this down. Justin Trudeau's testimony came after the RCMP last Monday said that they had obtained evidence linking agents of the Indian government to homicides and other acts of violence in Canada. Now, these crimes within Canada have targeted opponents of the Narendra Modi government, allegedly. People like Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was shot dead in 2023 in Surrey, British Columbia. Obviously, the Indian government has denied everything and has accused Justin Trudeau of basically creating this narrative for political gain. Now, I'm not going to lie, there is some political gain to be had here. I'm not saying that our Prime Minister is lying under oath. In Canada, I'm actually proud of the fact that our politicians don't overtly lie. But you can tell that Justin Trudeau has used the truth to his advantage here. Here's the game Justin Trudeau is playing. It's actually quite clever when you think about it. So part of the testimony you heard there describes the possible influence of the Indian government on the selection of the leader of the Conservative Party. So essentially, he's implying Pierre Poilievre was chosen by India. And the coup de grace, he says there are members of parliament still within the Conservative Party who might have colluded with India. Well, that's interesting. Surely he wouldn't just say that without any proof. Well, that proof is classified. And to see that proof, Pierre Poilievre has got to get a security clearance. Pierre Poilievre has, of course, refused to obtain said clearance and so has not had a chance to see said evidence. Not only is Trudeau calling Pierre Poilievre negligent for not getting the necessary clearance to receive the information, he's basically implying that Pierre Poilievre was handpicked by India. For what purpose? Well, who knows? I told you this was a clever move by Justin Trudeau. It is clever because it traps Pierre Poilievre no matter what move he makes. On the one hand, if he does obtain the security clearance, he will be sworn to secrecy and can't talk about the specifics of what he learns. It's classified, remember? In Canada, the punishment for revealing classified information is like 14 years in prison or something. So he's basically never beating the allegations of being an Indian plant. So Pierre Poilievre has chosen option 2. He has called for the findings of the inquiry to be made public. Justin Trudeau has declined, obviously. It's really a great game of poker. All the while, Canadians are watching. Honestly, most people are just like, give us the names of those traitors. That's how I imagine the voice of the internet in my ears. Sorry, I let the voices win there. Seriously though, up until now, Pierre Poilievre has had this halo effect. He's the champion of the little guy. He was literally skating into office on the tears of liberals. Until now. The streets don't like that he cannot seem to choose country over party in this matter of national security. Also, can't you just tell that Pierre is that kid on the playground that no one seems to like? He has been going hard at everybody, from just inflation, naturally, to sell out Singh, naturally. Pierre Poilievre holds 0 prisoners, and you can tell that the others don't like the guy. Jagmeet Singh, who did get a security clearance, has also seized the opportunity to throw some shade at Pierre Poilievre.
It is very disturbing to me, given the ongoing threats, the ongoing and real threats from a foreign government impacting the lives of Canadians right now, in addition to specific allegations that are now public knowledge in the report that was released that specifically named the Conservative Party of Canada, and at least 2 leadership races, the one where the current leader was chosen and the previous one. Given that, I cannot imagine why a leader would not want to receive all information possible to take every step to protect our country. I love our country. I love our democracy, as these workers do. These workers love Canada. I love Canada. I want to do everything possible to protect it. I can't imagine why a political leader wouldn't also want to do that as well. So I can't understand why Pierre Poilievre refuses to get information that could protect the lives of Canadians, that could protect the sanctity of our democracy. This is a moment where we have to put our party second and put the country first.
It must have been a long week for Pierre, and he has been unusually quiet all week. I was actually curious to see how this would impact the polls. He was up 20 points on Justin Trudeau prior to this week. Well, he's still 19 points clear. I've got to say, I expected a lot more of an impact on the polls. But we'll see how this develops in the coming weeks. Pierre Poilievre has been getting a lot of heat in the last few days. And I'm not going to lie, it's bad. It's really bad. But it would appear, at least according to the polls, that a friggin' rock, could run against Justin Trudeau right now and win. Hey, don't shoot the messengers, just an observation. I think if we learned anything from the BC elections this week, we know that the appetite for change in this country at the moment is truly ravenous. But will it be enough? That said, I still think y'all are underestimating Justin Trudeau. His minority government continues to survive somehow. And we will see by the end of this month how they handle the Bloc Québécois deadline to expand old age security. But I'll throw this out to you guys. I'm really curious. Do you think the Trudeau government makes it to the fall of next year? Or do you think Pierre Poilievre will break through a lot sooner? There's also an elephant in this room. What if Justin Trudeau steps down as leader of the Liberals? What happens then? I'll see you next time.